This is legit. You can change your smile through this company. I'm so grateful. What's going on, everyone? Hope you're having a great day. I made a couple of lives in regards to shiny smiles, and those lives didn't come out that great. So I wanted to put out a once and for all video in regards to shiny smile veneers. Let's talk about it. So my experience so far has been pretty amazing. Now keep in mind, guys, I am not being paid by Shiny Smiles. I am not being paid. A lot of people might think I'm putting these videos out because I'm getting paid. Wish I was, because believe me, I'm giving you more in my videos than anybody else on the internet is going to be giving you in regards to this process, okay? I showed you guys how I went about doing the molding kit. I showed you guys my first and second veneer set and all that stuff. I'm trying to give you what I can to let you know whether or not this is something you want to do. Take a look at my teeth. Get a good look. This is the most recent veneer set that they've sent me. When you first send your mold in, if you do a good job, they're going to get working on your teeth, on your veneer set. Over time, they're going to perfect the initial veneer set. If they send you the veneers and you're not satisfied, they will then do work in order to get you satisfied. So for example, the first veneer set that I had, which I actually have in here because they didn't request them back, and that's very nice of them. I wouldn't use it, so I'm saving it. It's not really helping me because it's not like I would use it because I don't particularly like the initial set, but I guess I have it in case something happens to this one. I still won't be happy, and I'll still want to get another one from them if anything does happen. So keep that in mind. When you do this process, they're looking to perfect it. So I think they make up to 3 different sets for free to perfect it. I believe they've done a great job so far. And if you don't hear anything else from me in regards to, any Shiny Smile updates or anything like that, then everything went great. So I want this to be the definitive video. If you do need to figure out how to do the mold, I do that in another video. You can go ahead and check that out. Take a look at these here. This is the bottom veneer on one of the previous sets that they sent me. Now, if I go ahead and throw these in, you're not necessarily going to see too much. This is the top. You're not necessarily going to see too much of a difference, but it's mostly in the feel. I wanted to give you guys an idea of what to look for. The initial sets that they sent me, before they sent me the one that feels good, the one that I have in here now, the initial sets were a little loose. So I had to mention to them, hey, one is a little bit loose. I want it to be tighter. I want to hug my teeth more. It seems as though the sets, hopefully you can see this, in the middle, let's say you put the veneers in like this. This part here, on the interior, it kind of flares out and away from your gums. Naturally, I think the process that they do kind of flares away from your gums. It leaves a little bit of space on the top veneer and the bottom veneer in the middle on the inside, okay? So catch what I'm saying. This is important for you. On the inside of the veneer, on the top and or the bottom, in the middle, it flares away from your gum. I told them I want that fixed. I want it to sit very close to my mouth, and I want the veneers as tight as possible. If you don't get them as tight as possible, you're going to have more of a lisp. Now, you might not really be able to hear a lisp on me right now, and that is specifically because of 2 reasons. 1, I've gotten used to talking with them, but 2, I told them to make them tighter so that they really squeeze up against my teeth and my gum. You want them as tight as possible, in my personal opinion, and of course, my mouth is shaped how it is, so maybe my experience will be different than yours. But I recommend getting them as tight as possible because 1, you don't want liquids or saliva as you talk to get caught up in the veneer, which can happen if they're too loose. And also when you talk, air is coming out, right? If air comes out and it's too loose, the air is going to get caught up under the veneer and cause a lisp. So I'm going to go ahead and try on my other veneer sets to kind of show you what I'm talking about, to see if I can replicate the lisp and the airy sound that comes out, to give you an idea of what to think about. I really hope this helps you. In terms of visual, what you're going to see when I change my veneers is, you might not see too much of a difference. I told them the first time after I received the first set, I want them to be a little more realistic. I want the teeth to look more separated, because at first it kind of looked like they gave me a block of teeth, which I didn't want. So I told them separate them a little more. They were able to do that. What they did was they made the lines in the middle of the teeth, where the teeth connect, they made the lines a little more dark. So it gave the illusion of them being more separate, which was fantastic. So give them specific instruction on what you want to do. They listen very well. This company has been fantastic. They answer my emails. They're very, very kind, very, very supportive. They take their time. They try to do their best. I'm very impressed with this company. That's why I went with this company. I saw very good things said about them, and now I am another honest reviewer telling you my experience about this company. So let me go ahead and try on these other ones. I'm going to show you my original teeth now, so you can see my original teeth and show you how much of an amazing job these little veneers do. Because for like $400 or $500, however much it cost, it's pretty amazing. And keep in mind, if you have an HSA, my HSA covered this, because this is a medical type of a thing, right? So my insurance, my HSA, my health savings account covered these. All right? Pretty fantastic. All right, so let me pop these out. Put these down, pop the bottom. These are my regular teeth. They're not terrible, but they're definitely not the best. The color, guys, is pearl. The color of the teeth of the veneers that I have, it's pearl. Okay, so in case you're wondering, they're not bright white. And that's on purpose, because bright white is going to be extremely white. I already had to wrap my head around the fact that I have these. These were white enough for me, okay? Just giving you my opinion. If you get bright white, you're going to blind people. And I think it may give away that something isn't really normal. This just allows it to be normal, in my opinion, the pearl, okay? Let me throw on those other sets. If you got any questions, drop them in the comments. Here's another one here. Okay? I can feel automatically that this one is not as close to my teeth, and you can probably hear it too in my talking. Let me put the bottom one on. Do you see a difference visually? I don't know if you do. I can't tell. You might be able to. I have a very small screen on my camera, but listen to the way I'm talking. Listen, 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 listen. Do you hear that? That's the lisp. It comes out when the veneers are not tight up enough against your teeth. The bottom one here, let me zoom in. This is the part you want to focus on. See this? You see how it curves? You'll see the bottom piece here curve out. That curving out catches air, okay? I told the company this because I want them to make all of your veneers the way they did for me. I don't know if people understand that that little space between your veneer and your teeth, and your gum, how drastic of a difference it makes with that lisp. You want this to sound normal. You want it to look normal. You want to feel normal. You're not going to feel normal with a lisp. Now, listen, 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 listen. Testing, testing. You see? Let me put the newer ones on and show you how those sound. And you see how easy these popped out? That was one of the problems I had with the earlier veneers. They came out too easy. I didn't like that. I wanted them to be a little bit more tight. So that's what they were able to do. Listen, listen, listen. They're not in fully. Listen, listen, listen. Testing, testing, testing. Do you hear a difference? Do you hear less of a lisp? You should. Now, keep in mind, you talking and kind of getting used to them will prevent and maybe eliminate the lisp. But the closer they are to your teeth and gums, the less of a lisp you'll have. So it's less of a learning curve, and no matter how well you do in learning how to talk with these, you're gonna have a lisp at the end of the day. Will people pick up on it? Maybe, maybe not. If you get good enough, they won't. I'm talking pretty good right now. Listen, listen, listen. Testing, testing, testing. Not too bad, right? You may not even notice. Let me throw the other ones in one more time. You can see it's harder to take off. But in my opinion, that's very necessary. You want them in there tight. All right, we'll throw the other set in. I'll show you how I normally talk. Testing, testing, testing. Listen, listen, listen. Okay, that's regular. Okay. Now we'll throw the bottom in. This one's so loose, I can pop them in with my tongue. See that? That's too loose for me. They pop right in. Testing, testing, testing. Listen, listen, listen. Do you hear that lisp? Now, let me go out of my way to try to talk without the lisp. Testing, testing, testing. Lisp, lisp, lisp. Listen, listen, listen. You see how much more air catches underneath these? You want to avoid that. So let them know. Make them tight and tell them to eliminate the curve where it curves away from your teeth in the middle interior side of the veneer. It's going to curve away. You're going to feel a space. You don't want the space. You don't want that gap. And shiny smiles, if you're watching this, if you fix this, you're going to be able to help so many people. Let me tell you guys, this company has been great. Great. Very responsive, very kind, very professional. You can actually call them. They have a phone number. You don't know how much that means to me. Most companies, they don't want to hear from you. It's just email. You can call these people, all right? So I love that. I also have another one, another bottom one. Okay, I'll pop that in. Still very loose and still very much of a lisp. So keep this in mind. Very, very important. If you have a gap, if they're not tight enough, you're going to have space, you're going to have air, lisp central, right? You don't want that. Let me take them out. I'll put the new ones in again. If you have any questions, let me know. But I highly recommend these to you because you could change your whole life and your whole smile for like $400 or $500, whatever it is. And if your insurance covers it, why not? You know what I'm saying? All right, so let me take these out. And again, guys, I'm not getting paid for this. Not getting paid. I owe nothing to this company other than my genuine thanks because they fixed my smile for very cheap. Real veneers, you're talking about thousands of dollars. So even if you have perfect teeth, I recommend you get these. Because if one day you wake up and suddenly you get a chip or something, or a cavity forms and your teeth start to, I don't know, whatever, the worst happens, you have a chance of having a fix right there. I've told so many people about this company. When they see me, I tell everyone about this. I'm not the guy who's wearing them in my mouth and hiding them. No, I want people to know they're fake because I want people to know how good it is. So I'll be out with my friends and be like, hey, you guys notice anything different? Wait to see what they say and then tell them, hey, I got new teeth. And they're like, whoa, that's crazy. When I take it out and show them, they love it. And so many people have asked me for this company's website. This is an excellent, excellent company. Something that set their veneers apart from some of the competition, in my opinion, is that some of that competition, their veneers look fake. It looks like you're putting blocks of teeth in your mouth. And I didn't like that. I don't want these things to look fake. I want them to look genuine, and I feel like that's what I have now. And I feel like after the tweaks that they made, after I gave them my very detailed input, that these are almost perfect, like 98% perfect. Okay, with this one, I need to push it up with my fingers. I can't just pop it in place with my tongue like the other ones. And that's good. You want them to be tight. Testing, testing, testing. Listen, listen, listen. Lisp, wait. There you go, okay. Testing, testing, testing. Listen, listen, listen. Lisp, lisp, lisp. So you'll always have some form of a kind of a lisp, especially when you're getting used to them. But as you talk, as you go on, the lisp slowly starts to go away. As you can see with me talking right now, it's literally disappearing as I talk. When they're not tied up enough against your teeth and your gums, you feel the air, you get self-conscious, you're wondering how you're thinking, how you sound, and all this stuff. Just make sure there's no gaps. You don't want saliva getting in there. Now that they've tightened these, no more saliva is getting trapped in them. That's what you want. Get them as tight as possible against your teeth and against your gums. Eliminate the gap that tends to happen in the middle on the interior of each, the top and the bottom veneer. The next thing that people always ask me is, can you eat with these? You absolutely can eat with these. I recommend being delicate with them because they cost a lot of money. So if you eat with them, you're very likely going to break them, or over time they're going to break, right? Common sense, guys. When I go out, I take them out. Most of the time, I'll say hi to my friends. Hey, what's going on, friends? I'll go sit down to my table and I'll order my food. I'll say, I'm going to go wash my hands. Go wash my hands, come back. When I was in the bathroom, I took them out. But when I come back to the table, no one notices the difference because when they first see your teeth, now all of a sudden their brains are like, all right, this is what this guy looks like. This is what Joe looks like. They're not looking at your teeth the rest of the meal because they've already have a visual of what you're supposed to look like. So many people, because I'm not going out of my way like, hey, look at me without my teeth in, right? I'm not doing that. I'm regular. So many people have not even noticed when I take them on and off. Then, when I'm done with my meal, go to wash my hands, pop them back in, and that's it. I could sit there and eat with it, but you have to be careful, okay? You can take the chance. Just keep in mind, they're like a plastic, right? So they're thin. You might want to prolong their life by not eating in them. You can eat French fries in them. You can eat ice cream in them. You can eat pudding in them. You can drink soda with it. You can drink coffee with it. Keep in mind, they are like your regular teeth. So what do you do at the end of the day? At the end of the day, you brush your teeth, right? You have to brush these too. Because if you don't, the coffee will stain, will cake up on them. The soda will cake up on them. I find the best way to do it is while they're in your mouth, at the end of the day, brush your teeth gently without toothpaste, right? Just warm water. Brush your teeth with them in, pop them out, and then brush your real teeth. And over time, you'll notice the inside of the veneers. Let me see if I can. The inside of the veneers here, you'll start to see everything you eat and drink gets caught in there. You have to clean the inside. How do you clean the inside? You can use a toothbrush and gently clean in the interior of this. You could also use a Q-tip, right? Wet the Q-tip with some water, take it, and spin it on the inside of every tooth cavity. That works very, very well. I keep these in a mixture of water and baking soda. It keeps the germs from being able to grow on it. It's cheap and it's easy. I don't like using those dental tablets that you drop in water that people use for like their dentures. Dentures, they make denture tablets, and the company actually gives you denture tablets with these. I personally don't want to use them because they're chemicals, right? So I just use baking soda and I use water. If you're good with denture tablet chemicals, it's all good, but I've heard some horror stories about them, so I personally don't want to use them. Either way, it'll work. But you have to clean them. Soaking them overnight doesn't take the film that is on these from soda, coffee, whatever you eat. It doesn't take the film off. So you have to gently brush them. And you still have to brush your own teeth. So keep that in mind. This isn't a fix for you don't have to be hygienic anymore. No, you do. You have to. It's even more work because you have to brush your regular teeth and these. But is it worth it? Yes. Why? Because look at my smile. Look at this. These things are so natural, especially once they dial it in. Once they dial in what you want and you give them your specific instruction, these people are going to do wonders by you, okay? So I hope this is the last video I need to make about this. I hope you guys found value in it. I'm sorry that those lives that I didn't come out great because of the horrible internet connection. I hope in the future to get a better internet connection and be able to do some better lives. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but I'm making this video because you guys said you couldn't see the lives too well. I hope you get a great visual now. Let me zoom in again. Keep in mind everything that I mentioned to you in regards to how you should give them the details that you want when it comes to your veneers. I recommend nice and tight, no gaps. If you have gaps, you will have a lisp. The less gap, the less lisp. And the more gaps and the more loose it is, the more saliva will build up in it over time, and you'll have to suck the saliva out while they're in your mouth. You'll be doing this all day to try to suck it out, which still might happen with me with these just a little. Not with the bottom one, with the top one, because the top one is not as tight as the bottom. But if the top one was as tight as the bottom, I would have no problem. No problem. No liquid would be getting in there. I wouldn't even be able. The bottom one is so tight, I'm not even able to suck anything out of it because it's so tight up against my teeth. That's what you want. All right, guys? So that's what I recommend. And I hope anybody who's wondering about this knows this is legit. You can change your smile through this company. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so happy with this. I can't express to you guys. Anyway, I hope this helped. Have a great day. I look forward to talking to you all at another video. Take care.